Yo, what is up everyone, Prathamir and welcome to Light Novel Review. And yeah, I decided to suddenly make a light novel review because after a lot of time I picked up one and I got really into it, and yeah, I just wanted to spread the word, man. Also, I do realize that the light novel community is super small. I mean, just look at the anime manga community, so big, right? Actually, you don't even need to compare, it's just small in general. And yeah, I realized that more people do need to make more content on light novels because they're amazing, right? So yeah, here I am. I decided to make a video because I just read one recently after a lot of time. And yeah, I'm gonna be dividing this video and all the other light novel review videos into 5 parts mostly. The first one being background, where I tell you some things about the light novel which I think that you should know. And then the synopsis, where I'll try to tell you the basic structure of the novel and the basic plot without giving spoilers. I'll try my best to not give spoilers, man, but yeah, in case I do, just let me off the hook, okay? Just let me off the hook. I won't be doing it much anyway. Yeah, after that we have the pros, in which I'm gonna be telling you good things that make it stand out, then the cons, the bad things that again make it stand out, and then an afterword or like a final impression, and like the whole review summarized, where I'm also going to be trying to tell what kind of people should read that novel. So yeah, this is how these videos are gonna work. And yeah, today we are going to be talking about the light novel that I read, that I just talked about, and it's called Gimai Seikatsu. It translates to Days with My Stepsister in English. Yeah, let's get into its background. Alright, so the first thing that you should know about this light novel is that it is actually originally a YouTube visual novel. So like, you can go up ahead and search up Gimai Seikatsu on the search bar, and you will find an official channel for it where you will find all the visual novel parts too. Now, all of these parts are in Japanese, but after the release of volume 1 of the light novel, they started adding English subtitles. So I think they're added in most of the parts, so you can go ahead and check out the visual novel too. After which, both the visual novel and the light novel are done by Mikawa Ghost, who is an amazing author. I've read another light novel series by him. It was something like, yeah, it was My Friend's Little Sister Has It In For Me. So yeah, I've previously checked out his work too, and it's good. After that, the illustrations in the light novel are done by Hiten. Then we got the publishers, who are Kadokawa and MF Banko J. There are 2 main characters in the light novel series. First, we got the main character, the MC, in whose POV basically the light novel is, and his name is John C. Yuuta Asamura. Then of course we got the stepsister mentioned in the title. Her name is Saki Ayase. After that, we also got other usual rom-com characters, who got significant amount of role, like a senpai at work. Then we got a friend who knows everything, gives advice to us. We got the stepsister's best friend who keeps teasing the main character. The usual rom-com characters. And another fact that you should know is that the light novel got a manga adaptation too after, I think it got it after volume 1. I'm not sure, but yeah, it did get a manga adaptation you can check out. Also, another thing that I should have mentioned at the start is that till now there are only 2 volumes, more to come. And then the light novel is written in a diary format. So basically all the chapters are actually named after a date. And yeah, basically it's like Asamura is maintaining a diary. Alright, moving on to the synopsis. First of all, the setting of this novel is super typical to stepsis rom-com novels. So of course, first with the characters, it's got those usual characters like the senpai and the friend and everything. But other than that, all the other things are basically the same too. Asamura's parents get divorced, Ayase's parents get divorced, and then Asamura's dad and Saki Ayase's mom get remarried, and boom, they're step siblings suddenly. So yeah, same setting, but believe me, the novel does stand out in different ways. Alright, now moving on to Saki Ayase, who's the stepsister. She is very stylish and good looking compared to Asamura, who's supposed to be very plain, bland and antisocial. Well, antisocial also goes to Saki Ayase. She is also antisocial, even though she is good looking and stylish. Now, basically, in the novel, Saki Ayase has got some problems. Like, she has got some bad rumors going on about her in the school. And then she also is very unusually desperate to get independent soon, get financially independent as soon as she can. And now the novel takes a very realistic approach, unlike other manga and other light novels where as soon as you get a stepsister, the stepsister starts oni-channing you. It does not happen in this novel. It takes a very realistic approach, and when the main character and Saki become step siblings, they are pretty far away from each other. They do not interact too much. You know how it probably would go in real life. It goes like that. So soon Ayase and Asamura decide to make contracts between them. So Ayase offers Asamura to make food for him and basically the entire family because she's good at it, and in return she asks Asamura for different favors, and those favors usually have to do with those problems I just talked about, those problems that Ayase has, like the rumors going on about her in the school and how she wants to become financially independent as soon as she can. So yeah, she basically asks Asamura to look for solutions to these problems in return to the food she cooks. So pretty simple, right? Now the novel basically centers around these contracts, around Asamura trying to fulfill his end of the contract, where while trying to look for a solution, he gets more and more closer to his sister, and they, from strangers, they start interacting more with each other and become friendlier. And yeah, as I said, this is what stands out about the novel, that it takes a super realistic approach. Even though at parts it does end up like other light novels that I talked about, where there's suddenly an awkward progression. I'm going to talk about that in the cons, but mostly it takes a very slow, slice of lifey and realistic approach. And yeah, the novel, at least the first two volumes, focus more on the siblings getting closer as family members, as acquaintances from absolute strangers. So there's not much romance going on, but yeah, it's bound to happen, and it has not happened yet because only 2 volumes are out, and it's taking a realistic approach, which means slow. They're getting to know each other first from absolute strangers, and I've said it for the 3rd time, so yeah, I'm not gonna say it again. This was basically the synopsis. And yeah, Asamura has got a senpai at his work who is also interested in him, and we got some rom-com moments because of that senpai too. Then I've already mentioned we got a friend who he seeks advice from. He usually asks for solutions for Ayase's problem from him. And yeah, we also got the stepsister's best friend who has a little idea of what's going on and teases romance between the stepsister and Asamura. So that's basically the synopsis of the novel. Okay, moving on to the pros, though I've already mentioned them in the synopsis, but I am only gonna mention the pros in this one and make them clear. The first one being realistic. I've already mentioned it a lot of times, it takes a super slow approach to it, and the way it shows is it's not exactly like what would happen in IRL, but I think it's the closest to what would happen IRL, so that's what I really like about it. Super realistic approach. After that, another thing is, as I mentioned, the whole novel is basically a diary being maintained by Yuta Asamura, who's the main character. But at the end of each volume, we actually have this short little one chapter where we get to see Ayase's POV, and that's super awesome. Like we go through all events which happened in the volume. In Ayase's POV, we just get like a short thing written by Ayase and her opinions on it, on every single event that happened in the volume. So that is very cool, seeing Ayase's POV at everything what happened recently. So you get to see both of their perspectives, and I really like that last chapter. I really like it. Other than that, I don't know if this third thing is exactly a pro, but I found it pretty cool. So basically, in an arc in the light novel, Ayase asks Asamura to search for good ways she can study efficiently with, and then Asamura goes off in a hunt to search for good background music that Ayase can use to make her studies more efficient. And at the end of that arc, he recommends her some lo-fi music. And then if you go ahead to the YouTube channel of Gimai Seikatsu, you will find a 24/7 stream going on of lo-fi music, and in the description it's mentioned that this is basically the music that Asamura shares with Ayase. So I found it pretty cool that we have this 24/7 lo-fi stream going on. So yeah, I really found it cool, and that's the last pro. Okay, moving on to the cons. So there's only one con exactly. The other two are actually pros. That's what make the novel stand out, but still, it might be con for some. So the first con is that in the middle of the first volume, we had this one very awkward progression, where, as I said, the novel is being super realistic, super slow, but there's this one arc where basically Ayase suddenly, all of a sudden, everything was going normal. All of a sudden, Ayase starts to take a whole jump and basically encounters the main character in only her underwear and even tries to seduce him. So that was very, very awkward and so out of place. It really kind of ruined it. We were going with a super cute and wholesome and realistic flow, and then that happened. It kind of ruined the mood, and that is really the only con there was to it. Other than that, the cons I have listed down is though that it's slow. It's super slice of lifey, super slow, and some people might not like it, but honestly, this is a pro for me. This is what's making the light novel stand out for me. Third is less romance than expected. Again, this might be a con for some, but honestly, this was a pro. This was what made it stand out. It was going slow. First, the light novel is trying to make the siblings acquaintances from absolute strangers, so of course not much romance is gonna happen, at least for the first two volumes, right? So yeah, that is the last con. Honestly, as I said, these last two cons are actually pros, but sure, I listed them nonetheless because it might be a con for some after all. Here we are in the Afterword. All in all, I finished both the volumes in one single day in less than 24 hours, and I usually never do that since I get very less free time because of studies, and I'd rather not read more, right? But this was so enjoyable that I finished it in one day. I utilized all my free time in just the novel, which I do not do at all. So I definitely enjoyed it a lot while reading. A very different kind of rom-com, and yeah, I will definitely recommend reading it. Though I will not recommend you to read it if you're looking for romance, because there's very less romance in it, at least for the first two volumes. As I said, as we go along, there might be more. But yeah, if you're a fan of slow, absolute slow slice of life, and you necessarily are not looking for romance, then only will I recommend this to you. And yeah, this is basically my Afterword. It was a good novel, and it was a slow novel, so if you're not looking for something really fast, then do not read it. But yeah, definitely if you are in a chill mood, are looking for a slow slice of life, sure, go check this out. And yeah, it's not like there's no romance at all. There is little romance, but yeah, there's less. You probably do not want to read it if you are looking for romance. So yeah, this is gonna be it for my review. It's a good novel, and definitely go check it out. Okay, that is it for my first light novel review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then hit the like button below. Also tell me recommend me other light novels to read. Maybe I'll review them too. And yeah, as I said, like if you liked the video, subscribe to join the Green Squad, and I will see you all in the next one. But until then, smell ya later.